I just got back from the Consumer Electronics Show 2025 in Las Vegas, and here's everything new with projectors and large format screens that you can expect to see in 2025. Starting with the projector company that generated the most buzz in late 2024, Valerian recently raised over $10 million on Kickstarter for their Vision Master series of standard throw projectors. And most of those orders were for the yet to be released Vision Master Max, which we got the first glimpse of this year at CES. The Max has a few big upgrades over the Pro 2, which has already been delivered to Kickstarter backers, including 7 levels of manual iris control, which trade off brightness for extra contrast. And according to Eason at Valerian, the minimum iris level should maintain around 75% of brightness while doubling the native contrast all the way up to 4,000 to 1, and with EBL enabled, the dynamic contrast should be 40,000 to 1. The Max also has motorized vertical lens shift for positioning the projected image onto your screen without the distortion associated with Keystone, and the Max is supposed to have 105% vertical lens shift, but I suspect that this was an early prototype on display because it looked more like 70% to me, which was in their original design. And as of now, there was no dynamic iris, but that will come to the Max in a future firmware update, along with planned programmable lens memory sometime after being delivered to the Kickstarters in May. Valerian also showed off the Max's interchangeable add-on lens system, which will initially offer an optional zoom lens to extend the throw ratio from its normal max of 1.5 to 1 all the way back to 2.1 to 1, so people with larger theater rooms can mount the projector in the back of the room. And Valerian is also planning to partner with other brands to produce more add-on lenses for things like CinemaScope projection. Nexigo was also at CES with their highly anticipated 4K Aurora Pro MK2, which is the first ultra short throw projector to have an ALPD 5.0 light source and dynamic dimming. According to Nexigo, the Aurora Pro MK2 will output 2400 ANSI lumens with a dynamic contrast ratio over 30,000 to 1, and Nexigo was so confident even in this early version of the MK2 that they prepared this demo for me using the infamous staircase scene from 1917, with the original Aurora Pro on the left and the MK2 on the right, and the difference was extremely impressive. The Aurora Pro MK2 was being offered at a CES pre-order price of $21.99 and has an expected delivery date in April of 2025. Nexigo was also showing off a prototype 4K standard throw projector called the Trivision Ultra MK2 with an ALPD 5.0 hybrid light source, 4,000 lumens, 2500 to 1 native contrast ratio, and 25,000 to 1 dynamic contrast. But the most interesting thing was that it also featured the newest Texas Instruments 8445 controller, which enables sub 1 millisecond input lag for gaming and VRR for the first time ever in a DLP projector. Unfortunately, the Trivision MK2 was just a prototype to show off the new tech, and it doesn't have any firm pricing or release dates available. Last in the Nexigo booth, they showed off an update to their budget PJ40 1080p single LCD projector called the PJ40 Pro, which adds built-in Google TV, 100 more ANSI lumens, and a little bit more color accuracy for around $299, available in Q2 of 2025. And they also had a new small form factor 1080p single laser DLP projector called the Nova Mini with 1200 ANSI lumens and built-in Google TV, launching in Q3 of 2025. Arzen also made some pretty big news with their very small foldable Pico projector called the Zip, which outputs 720p resolution with 90 minutes of battery playback and has auto keystone in focus in an impossibly small package. And the Zip just launched on Kickstarter for $249 with deliveries in March. Dangbei had 2 new projectors at their booth, a 1080p portable DLP projector called the Dangbei Frito with 450 ISO lumens and a 2.5 hour battery life that's currently on sale for $450, and their new flagship for 2025 is called the MP1 Max, which has a hybrid light source that they say completely eliminates the laser speckle associated with triple laser projectors while maintaining 110% coverage of the BT 2020 color space. The MP1 Max is being marketed as a lifestyle projector with a built-in gimbal and powerful speakers, and pricing isn't finalized in the US yet, but it should be around $18.99 and it's expected in Q2 of 2025. JM Go also had 2 new projectors for 2025. The successor to their flagship standard throw N1S Ultimate is called the N3, and in addition to increasing in size, the 4K resolution N3 also gets a big bump in brightness to over 4,000 ISO lumens from their Mauch triple laser light source, and it has the addition of a motorized gimbal for auto screen alignment. A feature that we saw debuted last year in the XGIMI Horizon Max at CES 2024, but that didn't make it to a global release. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens to the N3 before its global release in Q4 of 2024. JM Go also had a new 4K ultra short throw projector called the O2S Ultra, which has 3000 ISO lumens from its Mauch triple laser light source, But the two most interesting things to me were its extremely small size and a feature that JMGo called an electrical micro gimbal, which allows for automatic vertical adjustment of the screen, which could ease some of the difficulties associated with ultra short throw projector alignment. But unfortunately, there was no demo of that feature happening in the booth. JMGo says that we can expect the O2S Ultra to launch in Q3 of 2025, but there was no pricing available. Mini ultra short throw projectors were all the rage at CES, and LG also debuted their Cinebeam S, which is a portable but not battery-powered 4K triple laser ultra short throw with 500 ANSI lumens and automatic screen correction. But unfortunately, there was no real info about pricing or release date, and to be honest, the picture was not that impressive, but the environment where they had it being displayed was not doing it any favors. And the Cinebeam S was small, but it still wasn't the smallest ultra short throw at CES, and that title went to the Jabra K300S, which is a 1000 lumen triple laser UST shipping in February for $1,000. And they weren't making a big deal about its size, but it's less than a foot wide, 9 inches deep, and only 3.3 inches tall, which is small for any projector, let alone a triple laser UST. Hisense also had a mini UST that there was almost no info on, called the Hisense Compact Laser TV, and it had 4K resolution, 3000 ANSI lumens, and auto screen fit. But the big projector news at the Hisense booth was the new flagship L9Q laser TV that has some absolutely ridiculous brightness specs, reaching 1500 nits by pairing the 4000 lumen projector with a 2.9 gain Fresnel screen, and those 1500 nits would make it on par or brighter than almost all of the large format TVs on the market. But it is likely that that highest brightness only applies to the 100-inch version, while the L9Q laser TV will have 5 different projector and screen bundles ranging from 100 to 150 inches. But as is normal for Hisense at CES, pricing and release dates weren't available. Hisense also showed off a floor-rising Fresnel screen that we also saw last year at CES 2024, but this time they paired it with a flip-out version of their ultra-compact laser TV. And while it was awesome, unfortunately, according to the Hisense employee at the booth, neither the floor-rising Fresnel nor the built-in stand are expected to ever make it to the US market. XGIMI, on the other hand, definitely does plan on releasing their Ascend, an ultra short throw screen and soundbar combination that they produced in collaboration with Harman Kardon, which pairs a 0.6 gain lenticular ALR screen with 8 separate speakers, including upward firing tweeters on the top of the unit. The Ascend is specifically designed to be paired with XGIMI's Aura 2 ultra short throw, and XGIMI is also considering releasing a black version of the Aura 2 in order to fit in better with the aesthetic of the Ascend lineup. Another projector screen that I'm super excited about that really snuck into CES under the radar is this 100-inch floor-rising Fresnel screen in the F-Screen booth, which is really the first of its kind since the Hisense one is more of a prototype. And it's unlikely that F-Screen themselves will ever sell this model, but their factory makes the Fresnel screens for basically every projector company on the market. So I'm hoping that at least one of them will offer a floor-rising Fresnel by the end of 2025, and I will take the 120-inch version, please. And speaking of things that are on my eventual wish list, micro LED TVs were everywhere, with both LG and Hisense promising 136 versions in 2025, and TCL was teasing a 163-inch version. But the only ones that don't cost as much as a house are the micro LED screens from AWOL that use a slightly higher pixel pitch of 0.9 millimeters compared to 0.7 millimeters on the others to get down to still expensive but more reasonable price ranges, with the 163 coming in at $49,990 and the 135 is $37,500, which I know is still expensive, but it is less than the $250,000 of the LG version. Due to their overall size, the AWOL large format micro LED screens will come in panels to be assembled on site, but they're also offering fully assembled versions that they're calling their micro LED TV series, which are available in 75-inch CinemaScope aspect ratio for $7,990 and an 81-inch in the more common 16:9 aspect ratio for $9,990. And all the versions offer over 1,000 nits full field peak brightness and 10,000 to 1 contrast. And last, I'm usually not one to entertain the TVs are just so much better than projectors argument, but the new Hisense 116 UX is one of the most mind-blowing TVs that I've ever experienced. The new Trichroma UX lineup uses RGB mini LEDs to illuminate its LCD panel from the back instead of using plain white light. And the difference in color saturation and color brightness is night and day compared to standard mini LED or QLED TVs. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of official info, but unofficially, the Hisense employee in the booth gave me some ballpark insider info that the 116 UX has around 20,000 individual backlight dimming zones, weighs over 200 pounds, and will likely be released around July or August 2025. With the exception of the TVs and the micro LEDs, it is likely that I will be reviewing everything in this video in 2025, so make sure you get subscribed if you aren't already. Also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and as always, thanks for watching The Hookup.